Yep.
It's puck time. Monday. Very excited. I have Andrew McInnis and Alex B. Smith with us. Great show in store. We've got 5 games on the board today. We're going to take all of them apart, so there will be no last minute of play. You can find Andrew and Alex at sportsmemo.com. This show is brought to you by both sportsmemo.com and WagerTalk.com. And you can find it at WagerTalk TV, the most watched and listened to handicapping network on YouTube in the world. Guys, let's start with the most important stuff first. You're both young and fun. One of you's dumb. That just rhymed. I just wanted to keep with the poetry. Andrew, how was your weekend?
Really good. Yeah, really good. Lots of hockey. I played a little bit of hockey. Friend's birthday, so did some traveling. And, of course, last night, crazy game, guys. Tampa Bay and Winnipeg. 2 heavyweights in each conference. What a game that was. Unfortunately, I will say I was on Tampa. They led pretty much the whole game. Winnipeg kept fighting back and lost in overtime. But good weekend, Prez. And, man, I don't know about you over there in Toronto and you in St. Paul, Alex, but it's getting freaking cold here.
Yeah, it's starting to cool off a little bit here as well, too. But we're getting a little bit of a warm streak, so not too bad. Not too bad for this time of year.
Alex, you had a good weekend?
I had a fantastic weekend. I cashed a bunch of my bets in all different sports. Even cashed a 40-1 ticket on the Miss Universe that had the Philippines.
That's crazy. I saw you tweeting about that. That's crazy that you bet on that.
Did a little bit of research and found that good number. I mean, they love that. That's like a huge deal in the Philippines. So how I was able to get that, I wasn't able to get a ton of money down on it because it's Miss Universe. It's not like a real sporting event, but nonetheless cashed it. And so that wrapped up a great weekend. My Bears clinched the NFC North Division title. So I'll be going home tomorrow and getting my gear and hanging out with the family for a week as we get into Christmas time. So a great weekend. So how was your weekend, Prez?
No complaints. I won every day betting, but only a very small amount. My big play yesterday was on the Colts, and that was easy. I do want to tell you guys, next week I am in Mexico, so I am not going to do this show. I think we should just put this show on the back burner for the week, unless the two of you want to do it alone, but discuss amongst yourselves. But you're going away. You're going home, and Andrew might find a razor or something. So
that'll preoccupy me for a week. Eh?
Yeah, it probably would. So we're going to I think we should put the show on hold for next week. But we've got 5 more days, and the schedule is simple. We got Carmine and Alex on Tuesday. Carmine is now on a 12-0 NHL betting run. We got Dave, Koken, and Alex on Wednesday, and then Andrew and Alex Thursday and Friday, and then we're off for a week. The promo code's the same as last week. Head over to sportsmemo.com. Use the promo code PuckTime, one word, PuckTime. Get a week of both of these guys' play for $39. So if you want Alex, $39. You want Andrew, $39. Use the promo code PuckTime. I don't know, guys, if you take a look at the comments on our YouTube videos.
I do, yeah.
I love the guys who take the time to be rude and have hate and are angry and hate me. Nobody hates Alex or Andrew, but there's not a lot.
I've had a few, Prez. I've had a few.
I'm sure I've had a couple as well.
Yeah, but there are. It's funny, we get an average of about 1,000 viewers a day, and probably 2 really negative comments towards me. I just would like to, as we enter the holidays, I'd like to wish those people who comment badly on me the happiest of holidays. They obviously have serious problems in their lives. They're incredibly lonely people. I hope that 2019 is their year to turn it around. But most importantly, I want to thank them for commenting, because every comment that we get just pushes us further up the YouTube search engine. So the irony is magnificent and greatly appreciated. So thank you, gentlemen. Guys, let's get into it. We're going to take every game on the board apart today. There's 5 games. Alex, we're going to start with you. We have Pittsburgh hosting Anaheim tonight. Pittsburgh's a big favorite at minus anywhere from 158 to 182. The over and under is 6, which is the average over and under, but still somewhat large for Anaheim. Anaheim's on a 3-game win streak, and guys, and Alex, they've won 9 of their last 10. Pittsburgh's on a 2-game win streak, just took the Kings to overtime. There's no way I'm laying such chalk. What are you doing here?
No, yeah, I wrote this as a free pick. You can read it at sportsrumor.com, but I'm on Anaheim in this spot. I've been cashing tickets left and right with Anaheim. Like I said, they've won 10 in their last 12. They got lucky to get a couple of those wins, though. They had to come from behind. Daniel Sprong pretty much did all the work on Saturday's game, a 2-1 overtime win against Columbus. And another dynamic effort. John Gibson made 36 saves. It's his 6th win in his last 7 starts. That's interesting because this is the first of a back-to-back. Anaheim will play the New York Rangers tomorrow night. I'm guessing that Gibson will get the start because this is his hometown, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and then we'll see Chad Johnson probably start against the Rangers. So you're getting a plus money price with a hot team and a good goalie. He's going to be playing in front of more than likely friends and family. And a Pittsburgh team, they're doing well. They're winning games, but they're struggling on defense like usual. 3 or more goals given up in 7 of the last 10 games. Matt Murray coming back from the injury, still looking a little bit rusty. Penguins have dominated the history over the years. 11 of the last 17 meetings Pittsburgh has won. But you got an Anaheim team that's won 5 in a row on the road. They're playing some really good hockey right now, and this is 3rd game in 4 nights for the Penguins as well. So Ducks at plus 150 is a good price to play on.
I agree. I agree completely. And, when you were talking about Gibson's performance, it reminded me, I don't know if you guys watched the Tampa Bay Leaf game last week, but man, I can't remember offhand being in such awe of a goaltender's performance. Vasilevsky? I'm kidding. I have a friend named Vasilevsky. That was one of the best goaltending performances I've ever seen in my life. I just wanted to mention that. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch it, but it was. I think the Leafs put up 49 shots in that game.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, those two teams are just so up and down electric. Even like I said, if they're not all going in, but they're getting quality chances. Those 49 shots, I mean, over a good half of those were quality scoring chances. So, except for any goalie to make some big saves against that high powered of an offense, it means it's a top-notch performance.
And I think it's important to mention, too, that a lot of people think that when a goalie comes back from injury, they're not going to be elite. They're not going to be the same goalie they were before. But it's really important to know that coaches, trainers, doctors, they won't let a guy come back until he's ready. I mean, a goalie will not go back until he's ready. So, in the first couple of games for a goalie, some people might say it's not really a bet-on spot. It could be a bet-on spot because, look, he's ready to go. He's been waiting for that spot, waiting for that start for so long after injury. He's going to be so focused. So it's a perfect example right there. Like Prez said, Vasilevsky looking really great so far.
Okay, Andrew, let's get into the Columbus-Vegas Knights game. Look, Vegas Knights has definitely turned their season around. Columbus is very topsy-turvy right now. I'm actually finding them a little bit tough to bet because they can go out there and just lay the smackdown on pretty much any team in the league, and then they lay a total egg. They lost to Anaheim, as we spoke about in their last game. They beat the Kings 4-1 before that, but they are in a bit of a free fall. They've lost 3 of their last 4, 5 of their last 7, and they're playing a hot Golden Knights team. They just beat the Rangers on the road. Vegas is 2-1 on the road, and they've won 3 of their last 4. We got Columbus as a big favorite again, and the over and under is 6. Just like the Anaheim game, I'm with Alex. I'll take the hot team with the money.
Yeah, well, there's certainly way too many heavy favorites today, guys, in my eyes. That's why I love to, to see you guys taking those underdog prices and stuff like that. And it's a good opportunity today to do that. For me, I look at this game, and first of all, I look at this Vegas team, and I see them not only at home scoring goals, but on the road now. They're just collectively as a team. They're not solely relying on Marc-Andre Fleury to steal games for them anymore. They're actually being able to put up, 3, 4, 5 goals in games. And that's really been great for them. I think it's been great for their confidence. And, especially if they have a defensive lapse, they're still there to score and kind of make up for that. 4 goals against New York, 4 goals against the Devils. And just a couple of days before that, 4 goals against the Stars. So not really just elite teams, but they're still scoring and looking good. And, Prez, you kind of nailed it. You took it away from me. But, this Columbus team, they're so iffy. They're so inconsistent. It's hard to predict what they're going to do. I always thought Anaheim's an under team. I know you mentioned that too, guys. But, for that game to just be 2-1, for them to put up just 1 goal against the Ducks, it's kind of embarrassing. It's not really in their realm. It's not really what they're known for, this Columbus team. They're supposed to be a fast, young team that gets bucket loads of shots. And so I expect that tonight. This Vegas team's absolutely ramped up their scoring. They're trending towards the over very heavily. 8 of their last 11 games have gone over the total, and 5 of their last 7 on the road. So for me, I'll look at the over in this one. Columbus has certainly disappointed me, of course, over the past couple of days with the inconsistency. The fact that, the only team that they've really hammered is LA. And if anybody's watched anything that I've been on, they know that I'm not really a fan of LA. So that's just an easy win. But they lost 4-0 to Washington. That's embarrassing. But look at this Vegas team. One thing I got to mention before I head it back to you. I was on Vegas against the Devils. I think it was Friday night. They started the game in the first period. I think I talked about this on our show. They were up 3-0 in the first. So here I am having a great Friday night, feeling good, guys. What do they do but go ahead and lose 5-4 in overtime? And, I'm not going to complain about that. I'm going to learn that. I'm going to use that as a learning tool and say, hey, look, this team, they might be looking good offensively, but not as well defensively right now. So it's a good opportunity for Columbus to go out here on a Monday night and take care of business, get some goals of their own. So I'm going to look over the total here of 6 and hope that Columbus gets back on the board.
One key note as well, too, Marc-Andre Fleury has played 13 consecutive starts. We might see Malcolm Subban, who, if you look at his numbers, have been absolutely dreadful.
Yes.
They got to give him a start at some point. This might be the game for them to give him a start here.
I want to hijack the show, Alex, and just ask you something, because it's been on my mind. It has nothing to do with hockey.
Okay.
So there is a shopping mall in Toronto that hired a black Santa.
Mm-hmm.
And there was an uproar. People were complaining. I don't think it was a racist thing. I think people were just like, hey, I'm paying $10 to take a picture with my kid, and that guy don't look like Santa. My question to you is, would you complain?
No, I wouldn't complain too much, but I do understand it. Santa Claus.
It makes sense.
Yeah, if you trace back the story and the roots of Santa Claus, it was clearly a white male of Norwegian descent. So, to just go and up and change a story like that, it's kind of bizarre to me. So, yeah, I get the uproar. Like I said, obviously there's probably some racial undertones for some people, but just like you said, you can't just flip up a story like that out of nowhere. So
I know I found it fascinating. I really did. And, obviously, if out of 100 people, there are some racist undertones,
mm-hmm.
but what I found interesting is this is a made up character.
Right.
That probably could have been green for all we know.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes to like, we are so conditioned, where, you got this kid is sitting there and the mother doesn't want to pay the $10.
Right.
But kudos to the mall for hiring the Black Santa.
Sure.
Absolutely. Deep respect. But I was talking to my girlfriend and I was saying, do you think a black person would feel like the picture looks wrong?
Right. Yeah. There's a reason we've seen white Santas for, over 200 years, because that's just kind of how the story went. So,
yeah.
But you see how multicultural Toronto is, and just all of Canada in general, and obviously North America overall. But it's probably just, I'm not saying that the hire happened because of that, but it looks good on those guys, Prez, for
I agree.
Yeah,
definitely. I don't want to use the word multicultural, I guess, but just the diversity, I guess, is a better word to use. And, you walk up to the tree and you see a couple different colors of Santa, white or black, it doesn't matter. It's Santa. It's just Santa.
Well,
I feel like there's a better blending of cultures in Canada as opposed to the U.S.
Oh, for sure there is. Well, especially Toronto, Alex. We're the most multicultural city in the world. And I took my kid on Saturday to a place called the Pacific Mall, which is like 100% Asian. And they had a big Santa situation going, charging $10 a picture. But I didn't get to see Santa because I waited in the car. My kid gets in the car. I'm like, was the Santa Asian? No. Well, an Asian Santa would simply not be able to grow a beard.
Right. Yeah. That would possibly be an issue.
You're probably right.
Not that those Santas all have real beards, mind you.
Sure. Right.
Finally, a beard chirp that's not about me. Wow.
Oh, I was looking at you. You don't.
I know he was thinking it.
You don't have a
He was trying
beard.
to find a way.
You don't have
I know
a
he was
beard.
thinking it.
You have peach fuzz that doesn't connect to anything. Alex,
It's starting to grow in a little bit. I shaved today. I got my goatee, but I had a beard about 20 minutes ago before we got on air.
Okay, well, there you go. Montreal Canadiens, Alex, 70% of the general public are on them tonight, which is pretty strange given that they're hosting the Bruins. Minus 140 here. Over and under is 6. There are a few 5.5s. Boston's lost their last 2 games. They've also lost 5 of their last 8. And Montreal, they've won their last 2, and they're rolling, which sucks. They've won 5 of their last 6. I look at the over in this game. Where are you going with it?
I would lean slightly with Montreal based on the fact that, one, here's the thing. You're always going to get 2 good efforts from these clubs because this is a big rivalry, obviously. But you got a Montreal team that, all right, yes, 3 of the last 5 wins they have come against the lowly Ottawa Senators. But, hey, wins are wins, and that they need wins against bad. You're supposed to beat bad teams, so that builds confidence, get some momentum going. Meanwhile, like I said, you have a Boston team that's played not only losing games, but they've lost some tough games. They lost a tough game to Pittsburgh, lost a tough battle at Buffalo. They had to come from behind to put away Arizona, a team that they had dominated over the years. So things haven't been of easy road for the Bruins as of late. So with just that alone, I would be looking at Montreal in this spot. But like I said, the over looks like it would be something I could see here as well. I think it's going to be very physical, which means we might see a lot penalties, a lot of power play opportunities for both squads. So, yeah, I would lean slightly with Montreal, but I think that over might be a little bit more of a decent play at 6 as well.
It's amazing, Andrew. Montreal has got 108 goals on the season, in the top echelon of scoring teams in the league. Where the hell are these goals coming from?
And not only just that, Prez, but they're in the top tier for 5-on-5 goals, which is really important because the past couple of years when they haven't been able to score whatsoever, it's also just been mainly on their power play. I got to say, first of all, nice to have Shea Weber back. It's a trade with PK Subban that, pretty much, I
was
believe,
a disaster.
Subban has more points than Shea Weber has games played. So that's just a little stat there for you guys. But you know what? I said it to you before at one of our first episodes, Prez, and you kind of laughed. And I can see why you think it's funny. But when I use the word depth, I don't mean all-stars and great players. I just mean that it's not one guy every night. That's what I'm saying. It's 3 lines that anyone can come at you and really kind of just take over the game. And that's what's great about that team right now. Jonathan Drouin, to me, I watched him play junior here in Halifax, guys. He was such a great player here. He hasn't reached his max level. He hasn't reached his capability, his potential, but he's still a great player. You've got guys like Deneau. Gallagher has turned into more of a goal scorer. And Kotkaniemi is getting better. He's settling in. He's a rookie. And, I got to say, I was just disappointed with him at first, but he's stepping things up. And I think that they'll be all right moving forwards. I have a solid bet with several people here in Halifax that the Habs are going to make the playoffs. So I'm still confident about that, and they'll be there with that seed.
No chance, brother. They're going to be the Colorado of 2 years ago. New Year's Eve is going to happen, and then they won't win another game. Okay, they might win another game. I grant you that. But if I were a Habs fan, and thank God I'm not, I would hope that they were way out of it by trade deadline so they can dump Shea Weber and get something, and they can finally get rid of Carey Price and pick something up. Because this team, look, I agree with you. They are deep. I mean, they have a deep group of shit hockey players. They are a young, deep group of shit hockey players. What they need is to get rid of Carey Price, pick up some draft picks and some young talent, get rid of Shea Weber, do the same, and start building for the future. Because even if they do make the playoffs, there's no chance they're a Stanley Cup contender. And so you understand depth, Andrew. I would take the Leafs' third line over all. You pick any 3 forwards on Montreal, stick them on their first line, I'll still take the Kadri-led third line. And now I'm not going to let you talk. Alex, Colorado, New York Islanders, another big favorite here. Colorado, man, McKinnon is unbelievable, and what a shot.
Yeah.
You know, McKinnon and Austin Matthews, both their wrist shots, the trajectory is so quick, like how quick they get it up in the air. It's actually unbelievable to watch. They're at home. They're hosting the New York Islanders, minus 175. If you're going to take a puck line bet tonight at minus 1.5 goals, I think this is it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would like to say the puck line with the Avs and more likely the over as well. And you make a good point about McKinnon and Matthews, the way that they shoot the puck, because they have great hands, but they also have some power behind it. They're not just complete beauty style goals like we see from Patrick Kane and Connor McDavid. They put some power behind those shots, and that means a lot because you always want guys who can put some power behind it because then they get deflections and rebounds and things of that nature. So they create more chances with having a little bit of power. So that's something to keep note for people. If like I said, how guys score is also a thing to look at, not just when they score. That being said, Colorado, for as many goals as they're getting in, they're allowing a ton of them too. I mean, they give up 4 goals against the Dallas offense that has been kind of topsy-turvy. Give up 4 goals against the St. Louis offense that has been non-existent at times. We saw them give up 6 to Edmonton, 7 to Tampa Bay. So this is they're having some defensive issues as well. Maybe the Islanders can take advantage of that because we've seen the Islanders score 3 goals or fewer in 8 of their last 10 games. So they need to wake up a little bit offensively. But we've seen 5 of their last 7 meetings with Colorado go over the total. But the under has gone in 8 of the Islanders' last 10 overall. Something's got to give here. I think we see the overcash. Like I said, wouldn't lay this price with Colorado unless I'm looking at the puck line here laying the 1.5.
Andrew, Ottawa, home dog tonight. As they should be, hosting Nashville. Nashville's on a 3-game winning streak, but all of them have been at home. When they were on their last road trip, they lost to Calgary and they lost to Vancouver. Now we've got a home dog of Ottawa at around 150. They're coming back from, I don't know if you call going to Montreal a road trip. It's about a 45-minute drive. I've made it many times. The over and under is 6. What are you doing in this game?
Well, Prez, I was talking with you actually before the show, telling you that this is actually a play that I'll have one up at Sports Memo to sell.
I messed it up, which
okay,
is
don't
fair.
worry about it. Don't worry about it. But I actually want to go back and touch on that Colorado game because I was actually just speaking with all of you guys and Johnny at Sports Memo at WagerTalk, and I want to make it clear to everybody here watching the video as well that it's very important. Alex and I always mention this. Don't just bet the puck line. Don't just bet the money line. Look at that 3-way line. Look at the -1 line.
Absolutely.
Look at the +1 line. I'm now implementing that into my picks with Sports Memo. I've worked that out with the guys, with the team, and it's very important. I mean, you see Colorado at around -170, 175 price for money line. You can get them in regulation at around $1.10, $1.15.
Yeah.
Now, if you think that this team's going to keep it within regulation, you're getting far, far better odds, and it's definitely going to help your bankroll out. And for me, that's kind of what I would look at in that game. I do agree, Prez, like you said, the puck line would be the play. If on any game, this card with a lot of juice, you'd look at to take one. A lot of people like to take puck lines simply because of obviously the plus prices, but for the amount of games statistically that go to overtime, you're definitely a lot better taking the regulation line.
But not only statistically that go to overtime, there's just a huge amount of games that are literally 1-goal games. And I really like that point, Andrew, about betting the three-way, and it's something that Carm and I do on a regular basis. So, Alex, you need to talk about the Ottawa game because Andrew is betting on it. You can buy his pick at sportsmemo.com. And listeners, use that coupon code PuckTime, $39 for 7 days. I don't know how you could do much better than that. And both of these guys are so good at hockey. So, Alex, Ottawa at home here. If I'm going to take a dog, it would be in this game.
Yeah, this is a dog worth looking at because these two teams just played 6 days ago. Nashville got the 3-1 win, which started off their brief 3-game win streak here. But it was a much closer game than that. And Ottawa was a giant dog in that spot here. So not getting the same kind of value here, just at plus 150, but still getting value nonetheless. I think Ottawa's going to come out here a little bit fired up. Like I said, having that kind of rapid revenge. There's not a lot of revenge spots in the NHL like in other sports. I've mentioned that before. But when you have rapid revenge, you play within a week of each other. They kind of, things are still fresh in their minds of what they did wrong or what they did right in those matchups. So I think Ottawa is a live dog here. But Nashville once they start getting everybody completely healthy and start rolling, this is a team to be looking out for. So not going to have a whole lot of chances to get a lot of value betting on Nashville unless, like Andrew mentioned, you go with the three-way lines, or puck lines and different things. Another thing with that three-way line that's really important as we get into the second half of the season, a lot of teams are fatigued. We see a lot more games going to overtime, especially down the stretch in the playoff run where teams just need a point. Point and just kind of skate through. You get a lot of value betting that regulation tie. You get some plus 300, plus 320 tickets. I've cashed them time and time again, especially as we get into the playoffs as well, where we see a lot of overtime games.
He's Alex B. Smith. The kid with the mustache is Andrew McInnis. I'm the Prez. Tomorrow we've got Carmine Bianco and Alex with us. Don't forget to watch Morning Joe and the Pro, which we're going to tape a little late today because I have a major freaking toothache. Bloody debilitating, man. Like, I'm on like 6 Tylenols. It's absurd, but anyway.
At least you get the codeine Tylenols in the stores up there. So
yes, you do. I got Teddy covers on Morning Joe today. It'll be up at 3:30 Eastern at WagerTalk TV. Alex, we'll see you tomorrow. Andrew, we'll see you on Thursday. Be well, everybody, and make sure to head over to sportsmemo.com and use the promo code PuckTime to get 7 days of each of these guys' plays. Take care of yourself, boys.
Thanks, Prez.
Tip.